Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Thursday morning. It is now the 9th day of January 2025, and this is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window, it's another clear day, dry day. Chilly this morning. It will turn out to be a nice afternoon throughout Northern California. Talk a little bit about the fires and in Southern California and the wind conditions there, as well as a look at the potential for the snowstorm that'll be going through the southern part of the country as well as into the East Coast over the next couple of days. But let's start with the satellite this morning in Southern California. And as you can see, we still have a lot of smoke coming off the fires. The winds are not nearly as strong as what we saw 24 hours ago or so, but you can still see that the flow is offshore. You can see the smoke going in this direction. This is the Eaton fire here. This is the Palisades fire. I'm not quite sure what that part of it is here. But this is early this morning, and as you can see, we still have offshore flow and still a lot of active fire burning in here. On the Palisades fire, this is now more on the inland part of it. Keep in mind that all the property is more down in here and into some of the canyons. This is above all of that, into the mountains that are above Malibu, basically. And then this is the Eaton fire also burning in some of the areas that are above, let's say, Altadena. So, but again, you can still see this offshore flow. Conditions are still quite dry in the area, and we'll continue to see dry conditions as well as the possibility of a bit more in the way of a gusty wind over the next couple of days. But this is a snapshot of what's happening in the area this morning. Now, this is the 8 o'clock observations, and the numbers you see here, that's the temperature. But then you can look at the wind barbs, and you can see that the winds are generally light offshore. So like this one right here, that is an offshore wind, so the barbs point into the wind. So this is a northeast wind from the northeast at just 5. As you can see, that little barb right there, that's a 5-knot wind. This one over here in San Bernardino, that's a 10-knot wind, but you're not seeing anything in the way of a really strong wind here. And you come up into Ventura County, and you can also see light winds for the most part. So surface winds really are not all that strong here, but they'll pick up a little bit as we go through the day today. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the HRRR and look at the winds that we're expecting as we go through the day today and during the day tomorrow. You can see these areas highlighted in the purplish color, still rather gusty, and it's, again, offshore winds in the Sierra as well as in Southern California. And there will be another increase in that late tonight and into early tomorrow right here. You can see this flow right here, one more push of some stronger offshore winds. So this isn't going to help the fires, and we just hope that no new fires start. And this wind will not be as strong as what we saw, like I said, 24 to 36 hours ago, but it's still that very dry condition. It is still that very that Santa Ana wind condition. We could see some gusts up around 40 knots or so, and you can just see that flow going offshore. So it goes just like this. And then as we get into the night tonight and during the day tomorrow, those winds really go flat. And here they'll get back into more of a light onshore flow, and that'll continue through the day on Friday. So it does look as though there'll be another push of offshore winds late tonight. So that's the strongest of it, and that is the 3 o'clock in the morning. So during the overnight hours, and then during the day tomorrow, that wind decreases, and you don't have to worry about any more of that wind. So let's take a look at the big picture here at 500 millibars. And so here is that big ridge here that's keeping California dry. This is the low that's finally going to kick out and cause that snowstorm back east. As we go through the day tomorrow and into the weekend, there'll be another little passing weather system here. As that goes on by, it doesn't do anything for us. We may see a bit more of a north wind next week, but it really depends on where this low is. So this should be around Tuesday, I think. Yeah, this is Tuesday. So if this low is here, the winds in Southern California are fine. We have some north winds in the northern part of the state. But if this low stays here, this isn't a big problem for Southern California. The low that we have now, or that really caused the strong winds, was a little bit farther to the east. So with the cutoff low here, that isn't near the problem into Southern California, and this trajectory of it isn't all that bad. So it's really going to depend on where that low ends up setting up, and each model run is a little bit different right now. So it's too early to say that there will be another big wind event next week. I've seen some people speculate about that online, but you're speculating about stuff that's a week away, and it's just not, you're not going to go very far with that. So we'll take it one day at a time here for Southern California. Yes, there will be some wind tonight, but after that, look for things to be a little bit more settled, and we'll see what happens with this low next week. But as we go past that, you'll notice that the ridge rebuilds. So what day are we up to now? We're up to the Saturday the 18th. And as you can see, the next few days beyond that, this big ridge still holds. That's as far as the 12Z run goes. So big ridge here, big trough here. That means dry for California. Let's take a look at that snowstorm that is making headlines. Anticipatory headlines. So yeah, snowing in Texas. I saw some people this morning saying it's snowing in Texas. Yeah, it's snowing in Texas. It's January, as well as into Oklahoma. So classic low here on the Gulf Coast. Pick up moisture, encounters the cold air. The 540 line is well down into Texas. So just a cold plunge of air mixing with relatively mild moist air. You get snow. People thinking it's something weird. Anyway, as we head into the day tomorrow, this is tomorrow midday. That's when we start getting snow in the mid-Atlantic. But this storm has been decreasing in intensity on the models over the last couple of days. So as we head into the day Saturday, this is Saturday morning. Now that thing is off the coast and it has only brought light snow to the eastern corridor, as opposed to a big storm that this was looking like a few days ago. And then beyond that, everything is relatively quiet. And especially here in the West, there's nothing going on here for quite a while. Won't be seeing anything in the way of rain or snow in the western states for quite a while. So for Southern California and the fires going on there, yes, the dry conditions with the offshore wind will continue. There'll be another round of stronger winds tonight, but again, much, much less than what we saw with the worst of it 24, 36 hours ago. And then beyond that, the winds are light. And if you're going to speculate about next week, I just don't see anything in that right now. We'll have to see where that low sets up, because you can't tell what the local winds are going to be like until you have a firm grasp on what the 500 millibar pattern is going to look like, and with a cutoff low. You're just not going to know that on Thursday, what it's going to be doing next Tuesday. So that's everything I have for you on this morning. Another beautiful, dry day in Northern California, and it's going to stay that way for a while. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.